Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to DDP. I'm your instructor, Mr. Schwartz. In today's lesson, we're going to be tackling the fourth of four presentations that you are to give on various aspects of engineering, technology, and the design process. This presentation is called Chore Master, and it asks you to apply the design process to doing chores in order to find a more efficient and better way of doing them. The end result is to make your life better. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to ask you to be inventors. Okay, so here is your design brief, okay? There are many ways to solve a problem. Sometimes it is as simple as applying a piece of duct tape. Other times it takes months or even years for a product to progress from an idea into full-scale production. In this activity, your team will quickly design a product to perform a household chore using the available materials. By team, it's going to be you. Unless I make this a group activity, I'm presenting this at the moment as an individual activity. In this activity, you must think of a common household chore. Then create a gadget to make that chore easier to perform. You will present a performance of your chore to the rest of the class either by submitting a short video or showing a series of pictures of your products in action. So this could be done, as it states here, a video that must be uploaded to Google Classroom. If it is, if it's a video, we still want a photo of it in your engineer's notebook in the Google Doc. But if it's a video, we want it uploaded to Google Classroom because you won't be able to insert a video into your Google Doc. However, if you choose to do a presentation where, like it says, it shows a series of pictures in action and you can animate it as a slideshow, put those pages into your Google Doc engineer's notebook. Okay, so that should be there. As much visual documentation of your invention you could put in your engineer's notebook, the better. Equipment. Must be creative and use anything you can find around your place. Please do not go out and buy stuff for this during a global pandemic. Okay, so just the constraints of this is to use whatever you can find around your house. It's not open to the whole wide world. So just look around and try to make it work with what you have. Procedure. Choose a common household chore to create a product. 2, you will define the problem, generate concepts, and develop a solution. This should be recorded in your engineer's notebook. 3, you will construct a test and test a prototype. I want the prototype to be drawn in your engineer's notebook as a sketch and annotated, and I want a photograph of that alongside the sketch. So you're going to have this data, this information along with a sketch of your prototype and a photo of your prototype. 4, you will present the solution in class. This may or may not happen. You're going to present the solution in your engineer's notebook, and that's going to be, like I said, through a video, a animated presentation. If it's not animated, at least the pages in your engineered notebook are inserted. But you're basically, that's going to be how you present it, okay, through your engineer's notebook, which you will share with me. Okay, so I think that's pretty clear. You can always go back and reread this and make sure you get everything right. Okay, moving on. Okay, so you're going to use this PowerPoint as a template to document your design process in the Chore Master activity. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing your designs. Be creative. Remember the design process. This is precisely what you're going to apply to this problem. So the previous presentation, which was the deep dive into the design process, we're still going to take that from that previous presentation and apply it to this current challenge. This goes without saying, since you've done presentations already. Okay. So this will be separate pages of your presentation. or separate slides. Define the problem. Always in the way here. Oh, let me move myself, go back, generate concepts. Okay, I'm gonna move myself up over here, go over there. See, I'm well prepared. Constraints, make sure those are in there. What limitations were you faced with while designing your product? Very important. Okay. The decision matrix needs to be included in this, all right? So this last presentation is a culmination of some of the things we've done in previous assignments. It's going to have the decision matrix, it's going to have the design process, it's going to have all of the standards of the engineer's notebook, it's going to have the standards of your presentations, documentation, annotated sketches, photographs, all of that is going to be included in this presentation. Provide annotated sketches with dimensions, multiple views. So don't just take one photograph, take multiple views so we know what it looks like from at least 3 different sides. Construct a prototype, build a working prototype of your product. Do your best to try and make a working prototype of your product. Document photos during the build, any challenges you face, and must include a picture of the final version. So again, to reiterate this over and over again, this is about the process, the entire process. So you want to document that process and record that process. So when you're building the prototype, you want to include the challenges because the challenges are just as important as the solutions. And so you want to document that, and the more documentation, the more detail that you can insert in your PowerPoint, the better your grade will be. Include any revisions. Remember, failing is part of building. That is the truth, okay? So remember not to disregard any failures or missteps or anything like that, but to document them and then show how you overcame that, or how you iterated that, or how you returned to that and solved it. Can be multiple slides, which of course it will be. Okay. If you never failed, then you have never built anything. Thomas Dewey. Okay, so evaluate your solution. This should be towards the very end of your PowerPoint presentation where you are summarizing. Did your solution solve the problem statement? If in the journey you somehow change, revise your problem statement to fit your new product. How did you change your original design statement to fit the current solution? Okay. Data. Conduct trials to see how often your product was successful or not. Note if you had to make any revisions or adjustment to increase its success rate. Remember that this is all about data that has been tested and experimented. So just like you're going to need to include that decision matrix in here, here is another chart and data that I want included in there as well. The trial, the results, and the comments. This is to be in the last summary page. So this is basically taking all of these results and making a simple summarized version in a chart like this that has 3 categories: the trial, the result, and any comments. Okay. And then the very last thing is the solution, of course. What did you end up going with? What did all of the testing and trial and errors result in? Okay, so you're going to summarize your solution. Of course, it's going to be well documented visually. You're going to include a description, how it works, how it solves your original problem statement, what constraints you are faced with, what would you address those constraints, how would you address those constraints not under the current situation. So if you can imagine this in a completely different set of circumstances, how would those constraints change? And include the cost. What did you spend? And if you want, you could even put what you would retail it for if it were going to go to the market. Okay, so the solution page should have all of these things in addition to visual documentation. can create a sample print advertisement on this slide. I'm going to make this part extra credit. If you do this, I'll give, it'll increase your grade. If you don't do this, I will not take it away from your grade, it will not. But these are all ways of extending this presentation beyond just the product. It needs to go to market, it needs to be advertised. And so something to think about and expand your knowledge base. So if you're willing to do the work, I will reward you grade-wise. Okay, so that is it for the last of your presentations. It includes a lot of different things. Make sure you review this presentation to make sure that you have all of the various aspects that I'm looking for and that you should have in it. I can't wait to see what you come up with. I'll see you at the next video. And if you have any follow-up questions, please be sure to catch me at the office hours. I'll see you then. Take care.